She had this baby. He's going to start crying. He's going to be found out. What is she going to do? We'll get to that back in a second. Let's go back to this whole life being interrupted thing. I'm aware of the fact that sometimes our lives get interrupted in some pretty big and significant ways. Daniel interrupted service today. By the way, he wasn't super concerned about pizza. I sort of made that up. He was whispering in my ear over here. He was just helping me out today. So I don't want you to go home and say, man, Daniel was rude. You could say that, but it wouldn't be true. Now, if he said something rude to you in the hall, well, then you go ahead. But if he wasn't rude here, he'd help me out. Okay? But not just in a playful way. Sometimes our lives are seriously interrupted. You know what I'm thinking of? Many of you in this room get services from the state. And you're aware of the fact that our services are changing, aren't they? I understand there's this new tier system that's coming out. New tier system, how we're going to get services. And in a lot of times we don't really understand what this is going to look like, do we? We don't really understand what services we're going to get, what services are going to get cut back. Are you still going to get companions? Are you still going to be able to do the things that you always did? You're going to still be able to get the same kind of services you always got? And there's some question there. And it's probably going to change, and what we're realizing is now we're probably going to lose some things, aren't we? How many are kind of nervous and scared about that? Sure you are. Sure you are. Because just a few months ago, life was going on okay. You had your services, you got in your routines, everything was going good, and then administration change happened, and all of a sudden your life is interrupted. And now you're not sure what this is going to look like anymore. You're not sure what to expect, and you're nervous about it, and you're maybe afraid of it, and it's frustrating. You don't know what to do. Well, I'm going to go back to the story about Moses. I'm going to tell you what Moses' mom did, and it teaches us a lesson of what you can do when your life is interrupted, just like it has been with our new services and tier system here in Florida. Moses' mom did what she knew how to do. She protected Moses as long as she could, and then she said she wrapped that little baby up and got him in a snuggly basket, and she lined that basket to protect it so it would float. And she brought it down to the river, and it says she set the baby free, floating on the river. She didn't know what else to do. God performed a miracle. You see, what she didn't know, maybe she didn't know this, but just a little ways away from where she set the baby free, the Pharaoh's daughter was there swimming, baby bathing with all her nurses and helpers. And guess what? They heard a little bit of noise in the bushes. And they went and checked, and she saw this beautiful baby boy floating in the river. And just like girls do when they see little babies, what do you think she said? Oh. Yeah, that's what she said. Come on, you can do better than that. Look at the baby and say, oh. Yeah, that's what she did. She said, oh, isn't that cute? She said, I want to keep it. I want to keep it, just like you would with a puppy. I want to keep it. Moses' sister hid out in the bushes and watched this whole thing happen. And she jumped at the moment, and she ran up there and she told Pharaoh's daughter, how would you like a woman to take care of this baby for you? And the Pharaoh's daughter said, that would be great. She and I have just a woman. And she went and got her mother, who happened to be Moses' own mother, and came back and took care of Moses. And therefore, he was protected, and he wasn't thrown in the Nile, and he wasn't killed, and he would grow up to be a great leader of Israel. You see, just because your life gets interrupted in a very significant and very terrible way, just like it was for the Jews, doesn't mean that everything is going to fall apart. We can trust God. Moses' mother trusted God. She did everything that she knew how to do, and then she trusted God for the rest. And when we do everything that we know how to do, and you've filed your paperwork, and you've petitioned the state, and you've talked to your support coordinator, and you've talked to your living coach, and you've done all the things that you know how to do, and you're still not sure about what life is going to look like for you, guess what? You can pray and you can trust God.
Yes.
He will take care of you. He's promised that He would. So I want to encourage you today, and I need this encouragement, that when our lives get really, really, really interrupted, and it's frustrating, and it makes us mad, and we get irritated, we also get scared, we just don't know what, I can stop and say, okay, Lord, what can I do? Here's what I can do. The rest is up to you. Can I pray with you? Let's start.